Your attention span is literally destroying your academic potential. In the past multiple years, we've seen students go from being able to actually sit down and do something without getting distracted to now not being able to even sit down for 10 minutes without checking their phone. And if you can't control your attention, if you can't stay focused, then you're cooked. You won't be able to achieve the ATAR that you want because you won't be able to stay focused for as long as you want. Your brain has been hijacked by social media algorithms designed to keep you scrolling. Every notification, every TikTok post, every like, every save is designed to train your brain to expect constant novelty and constant stimulation. And if you actually want to change yourself and make an academic comeback and become the best version of yourself, you need to fix this and you need to fix your cooked brain. So how to fix your fried attention span. Let's jump right into it. Here's an overview of what's going to happen today. First, I'm going to give you the best focus tools. So the tools you need to have to actually stay focused. How to fix your fried attention span. So I'm going to go over 7 proven strategies and then the mistakes to avoid. And these mistakes are keeping you distracted forever. So you need to stop them right now. Okay, let's just jump right into it. Let's not waste any time. Let's start with the best focus tools. All you need are these free tools in order to fix your focus and attention span. Number 1, a website or app blocker. Number 2, the Forest app or a phone timer. That's for your actual focus sessions. And number 3, a physical notebook for something that I call the parking lot technique, which we'll talk about. And yes, that's all you need. You don't need some expensive app or some complicated system. You don't need that stuff. The true skill needed for attention recovery and fixing your attention span is discipline, consistency, being able to stick to focus protocols even when your brain fights back. That is the key, okay? That's what you need to do. And we'll speak about that once again. So, how to fix your fried attention span. There are 7 main strategies to fix your fried attention span. Strategy number 1, it's called the digital detox protocol. Number 2, it's the focus stack method. Number 3, the attention restoration routine. Number 4, mindfulness training. Number 5, the dopamine reset. Number 6, environment engineering. Number 7, progressive focus training. So, all right, those are the 7 things you need to completely fix your attention span, and they changed my life, right? So let's break down exactly how to do each of them. Let's start off with the digital detox protocol. This is just cutting the source of distraction, right? Your phone is literally rewiring your brain for distractions. Okay, like I said at the start of this video, your phone, the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube, all of them are designed to train your brain to constantly be stimulated. So that's why when you sit down and do any work, it's like literally impossible to do because your phone is training you to not do that, right? So it kind of makes sense why you're distracted. So how do we do the digital detox protocol? First of all, off the bat, put your phone in another room during your study sessions, okay? If you have your phone right next to you during your study sessions, like on the table that I have right now, you deserve to get distracted, okay? Because you're putting the source of distraction right next to you. Like, what do you think is going to happen, okay? So you need to put your phone in another room. What I did is I personally put it like in my room, in a drawer, like somewhere very, very far or somewhere very, very like inaccessible, right? So I put it in a drawer underneath a book or something that would be annoying for me to go out and get. That's what you need to be doing. Don't have your phone next to you. Okay. So for example, I'm going to put my phone in the kitchen and study for 25 minutes. Maybe you want to give it to your mom or your dad. That's a good method if you're really, really bad. Me personally, I just put it in a different room. Okay. So that's the first thing. Put your phone in another room during your study sessions, but not just your phone. Another very big important thing is put anything that's distracting in another room. So for example, if you play the PS5, or play some sort of console, if it's next to you on your desk, just unplug it and put it somewhere else. You want to completely remove it from your environment, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is delete social media apps during exam periods. Remove Instagram, remove TikTok, remove Snapchat, if you still use that. I don't know who uses that. Anyway, just delete them all. Okay, now I know this sounds crazy to hear from me because I post on TikTok and I post on Instagram. I don't use this trash app, but like it's weird to hear it from me, but I'm telling you right now, if I didn't post content, if I didn't make videos, I would delete everything. Me personally, I actually would, right? Because if you're not doing something on that, like why you even have it on? If I was you, I'll delete it, okay? So you can reinstall them later, all right? Delete them completely, especially during exam periods, and then reinstall them later, right? So for example, when I was preparing for my trial exam, my final HSC exam, what I would do is I would delete it completely. And then when I wanted to go on it, I would just reinstall it. Just do that, right? And ask your friends to just text you on a number. Yeah. So that's the second thing. Just delete your social media apps. And this is, by the way, what I get all my students to do, right? Literally all my students either have it deleted completely or they delete it and reinstall it, right? Like I literally force my students to do it and they don't look back. I actually had a student a few weeks ago text me saying that like it feels weird to even go back to it now, right? So trust me, it's worth it. Number 3 is use website blockers on your computer. Okay, so block YouTube, block Netflix, block social media sites during study hours. Now, me personally, I did not need to do this. Okay, my addiction wasn't that bad where I'd be scrolling on my computer. But believe it or not, there are some people like that. It's probably you right now, right? So just get a blocker online to do that. In terms of what blocker to use, I can't tell you. I don't actually know, but there's a ton of free ones. I guarantee you. Just search up free website blocker, okay? And finally, create a phone-free study zone, okay? So for example, this desk has no phone study zone from 3 to 6 every day, right? This is an awesome like protocol to have. You can even block it in your calendar. So set a time where you don't have a phone at all. And by doing that, again, you're detoxing your brain digitally from all those distractions that you're getting, okay? So that's the first strategy, digital detox protocol. And the whole goal of all this is that your brain learns to function without constant digital stimulation. That's the goal of this first thing, okay? So that's the first method, digital detox protocol. The second thing is the focus stack method, single task like a pro, right? Jumping between tasks destroys your concentration completely, okay? Listen to me very carefully. There is no such thing as multitasking, okay? I know there's a theory that girls can do it, right? Which honestly, I somewhat believe because it's crazy. But anyway, it doesn't exist, okay? When you multitask, you don't understand what's happening in your brain. Like it's messed up. Like when you multitask, you're switching your focus and then it takes a few seconds to actually get your focus back to the thing again. Like it just doesn't work, okay? If you don't believe me, look up the actual neuroscience behind it. You can't multitask, okay? So multitasking means just not doing anything pretty much, right? So stop jumping between tasks. Now, how do we do the focus stack method? Number 1, time block your study sessions. This is very, very important. You cannot study without having a plan before, okay? I cannot stress this enough. Don't ever start to study without mapping out, without planning, without scheduling what you're going to do. Because when you walk into a study session without knowing what to do and just doing whatever you feel like doing, number 1, you're more likely to procrastinate because there's uncertainty. And number 2, well, you're going to get distracted because you don't have any focus to begin with, right? So before you sit down and study, I did this the night before. You want to time block your study sessions and also create a to-do list and create to-do list, okay? So for example, you might be like, okay, from 9 to 10 a.m., I'm going to only do math. And then from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m., I'm going to do English. And then you want to make a separate to-do list for what you're going to do in each of these things, okay? Because once you do this, well, just think logically. If you have a plan in place before you start, then you're more likely to stick to the plan, okay? Second thing is you make sure you have to finish before switching, okay? So complete the full session or hit your time limit before moving subjects, okay? This is very important. So don't study at 9 o'clock. Let's say you have a math plan from 9 to 10. Don't study from 9 to 9:30 and then switch again, okay? Because what happens then, what happens when you do that is you have so much cognitive load that you have to finish, right? So that's why, obviously, except for some exceptions, sometimes you might just finish early. That's a different story. But don't switch until you've actually finished what you've said you're going to finish, right? Next thing is use the parking lot technique. This is probably one of my favorite techniques when it comes to distractions, right? I do it to this day. You want to write down distracting thoughts on paper to deal with later. So what I'd recommend you do is I personally use this, just a normal notepad for taking notes. And basically when you're studying and a thought comes to your brain that distracts you, right? Just a random thought, it happens, we all have lives, so it happens. What you want to do is you want to get a pen and you want to write down the thought, okay? Then put it down. Let's say another thought comes on. Again, take out the pen and write the thought on it. When you do this, as the name suggests, of the technique, it is literally a parking lot. You're parking those ideas on the paper so it doesn't distract you, right? It's such a powerful method and I'd highly recommend you do it. And then finally, single task only, okay? One subject, one task, one focused, no multitasking ever. Don't have 600 tabs with your math textbook there, with your bio textbook there, with your chemistry notes there. Like you're training your brain to be distracted. Please, just one subject, one task, one focus, no multitasking, okay? Just one bloody thing. That's it. Okay, so that's the second strategy, the focus stack method. And the whole goal of this is that you reach deep focus states instead of surface level studying. That's the goal. If you do this properly, you'll be able to actually lock in like crazy, right? Number 3 is the attention restoration routine. And this is about resetting your brain, right? So right now, your brain is overstimulated and needs active recovery, right? You know how sometimes when you have a good gym session, or you go for a nice run, or you do something like physically demanding, and you need to recover afterwards because you're sore and you're tired and etc., right? Well, your brain is like that right now. Your brain is sore, your brain is tired, and your brain needs to recover, right? So how do we do this? We first need to fix our sleep. So you need to get 7 to 9 hours every single night, right? This is a non-negotiable for your cognitive function and your attention control. I'm not even joking. Fixing your sleep off the bat will recover your brain and fix your attention. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is take real breaks. Okay, so when you take a break from studying, which I highly recommend you do, you should take a lot of breaks. Do something that actually involves a break. For example, walk outside, take a stretch, sit quietly and do nothing. Speak with your mom and dad or speak with your family. Don't scroll during your breaks, okay? Because scrolling during breaks isn't even a break. You're still using your brain significantly, okay? Because you're just flooding it with dopamine. And then finally, do one boring thing daily. So for example, read a physical book, do a puzzle, or meditate for 10 minutes. You need to train that attention muscle again. For me, it was either a physical book or meditating was one of them, but it was mainly a book, honestly. By the way, reading is like such a nice way to get your attention back. Try reading now. It's probably impossible for you because how cooked your brain is. So if you force yourself to read, it's really going to help. And the whole goal of this third strategy is that your brain gets the downtime it needs to restore attention capacity. That's the whole goal. The goal of this third strategy is that your brain is actually recovering itself. Strategy number 4 is mindfulness training, okay? And this is all about controlling your mental state, okay? And right now, your mind constantly races and you can't control where it goes, right? And I actually made a video about this on why you should never doom scroll. Part of the reason why you should never doom scroll is that it messes with your emotions, right? Because every different video you see, it's a different emotion, which cooks your emotional management. Well, that is a big problem. Because of that scrolling and because of that constant brain rot, you're not able to control your mind and where it goes. It's just constantly racing, right? So how do we fix this? What should we be doing? This is what I'd recommend you do. Number 1, 5-minute breathing exercises before studying. So before studying, what I used to do is I used to do the 4-7-8 technique where I'd inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. And what that does is, try it out right now. Breathe in for 4, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. It puts your attention to one place. It's beautiful, right? Next thing is mindful study session. So notice when your mind wanders and gently bring it back to the task. This is such a powerful skill, right? So when you're studying and when you get distracted, and by the way, after this video, it's not like your focus is going to be fixed like that. When you actually try to study and when you get distracted by anything, it's not about not getting distracted. It's about getting distracted and then just pulling yourself back to where you are. So let's say you're studying, you're getting distracted, you want to scroll, acknowledge the thought and just come back. And that way your study sessions are more mindful. Number 3 is body scan breaks, right? So spend 2 minutes checking in with physical tension and relaxing. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, what I used to do is, when I was studying and especially when I was more stressed out, what I would do is I'd sometimes go to a bed, lie down and just relax all my muscles and just stare at the ceiling, right? No phone, no nothing. And what that does is, again, it relaxes you and it fixes your mind because, again, you're controlling your mind, right? And finally, single tasking practice. Eat without your phone. Shower without planning your day. Try to eat without your phone. Shower without planning your day. You get what I'm saying? So when you do how probably right now when you're in the shower, you're riding on the glass, planning your day. Don't do that. Try to eat without your phone. Try to go to the toilet without your phone. Try these things. It's going to be very hard to do, but it's going to fix your focus. And the whole goal of this 4th method is that you gain conscious control over your attention instead of being its victim. That's the whole point. It's consciousness. So that's the whole point of this and this and this and this. It's just to be conscious about your mind and your attention, okay? Strategy number 5 is the dopamine reset, right? And this is about fixing that system in your brain that rewards you, right? So right now, right, your brain is addicted to instant gratification from social media. That's the truth. Right now, it's addicted to that. So how do we fix that? Well, here's what we do. Number 1, delay gratification deliberately. So for example, let's say you really want to check your phone and you really want to scroll. That's fine. But what I want you to try to do is I want you to wait 10 minutes before checking your phone when you get the urge. Next time you want to play games, next time you want to watch a movie, just wait 10 minutes. It's just delaying it. You're still going to do it, don't get me wrong, but just wait 10 minutes, okay? And this is what, again, I used to do this when I played games, right? When I was in year 11, sometimes I had some, game night with the boys. I'd be like, I'll hop in 10 minutes, even though I could have done it just now, right? It's the whole point of delaying it, right? Second thing is choose harder entertainment. So read instead of scrolling, listen to podcasts instead of TikTok. So instead of scrolling, why not pick up a nice book that's cool and on fiction? Why not do that instead? It's going to fix your attention. And number 3 is earn your phone time. So this is something that I teach to my students more specifically. It's called the reward hack loop. Basically, you want to give yourself a condition. So for example, I get 30 minutes of social media time after completing 2 hours of focus study. If you do this, well, you're now rewarding yourself for that phone use and you deserve it. And finally, track your wins. Celebrate small improvements in focus time to build positive associations. Okay, so I don't want to go in too depth here, right? Because it's kind of too scientific for this video right now. But you need to try to get dopamine from the fact that you're not getting cheap dopamine. You need to try to get dopamine from the fact that you're improving yourself. And the way you do that is by celebrating the moments where you don't go on your phone. Because that way now you're rewarding yourself for not going on your phone, which makes you not go on your phone more, right? It's a cool hack. And the whole goal of the dopamine reset is your brain finds satisfaction in sustained effort, not just quick hits. Strategy number 6 is environment engineering, right? And this is designing your environment for focus, okay? So your study space right now is probably full of distractions and chaos, right? Look at your desk right now. It's probably messy as. Look at your cupboard. It's probably messy. So you need to engineer your environment, right? And the way you do that is the following. Number 1, create a dedicated study space. One specific area that's only used for studying. Don't study on your bed. Number 2, remove all distractions. No phones, no games, no clutter, or anything unrelated to studying in sight. So don't have like your PS5 next to you. Don't have all these different books on you. Only have the things you're doing for that study session on the desk. Third thing is optimize your environment for focus. So have good lighting, have comfortable temperature, have a minimal background noise. Now, of course, this is a little bit harder to engineer, especially like it depends on your room and your house. But something you can definitely do is this one, minimal background noise. Get like noise cancellation headphones. And finally, prepare everything in advance. Right? So the night before your study session, prepare everything on your table. Get your books out that you're using, get your notes out that you're using, get your water, get your snacks, everything out, right? And the whole goal of strategy number 6 is that your environment will automatically put you in focus mode. Okay? You're designing your environment for focus. And finally, the last method to fixing your fried attention span is progressive focus training. And this is about building your attention muscle, right? So you need to understand that attention is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it gets weak. So your attention span is just like a muscle. If you want to build up your biceps, right? If you want to build up your biceps, you need to train it up. And the way you do that is, again, by lifting up heavy weights. Same thing with your focus. So the way you do that is the following. Number 1, start small. So for example, begin with 15-minute study sessions and then gradually increase, add 5 minutes each week until you reach 90+ minute sessions. And then you want to track your progress. So actually keep a track of how long you focus and then challenge yourself, like try to progressively focus harder. So for example, your weekly progression could look like, week 1, you study for 15-minute study blocks, week 2, 20 minutes, 25, 30. Now this is too small in my opinion. You can increase it more, but you get the point, right? And the whole point of this strategy is that you can focus for extended periods like the top students do. So those are the 7 strategies you need to fix your fried attention span. Now, to wrap up this video, I want to give you some mistakes that you need to avoid. Okay, so although focus training can be extremely powerful, if done wrong, it can actually make your attention span worse. Okay, so here are the top mistakes students make when trying to fix their attention, mistakes that can actually make your grades worse, right? So number 1 is using willpower instead of systems. Okay, so the reason why this is bad is that willpower runs out after 20 minutes. Obviously not that short, it could be longer. But the point is, if you just rely on trying harder to focus, you're going to fail every time. Your brain will win against willpower. So the better way of doing this is to build a system that makes focus automatic, right? Use app blockers, use time blocks, use environmental design instead of just relying on self-control, right? Mistake number 2 is not starting small enough, okay? This is a lot of issues. This is a big issue I see with my personal students where because they're so motivated and dedicated, they try to put so much on their plate, but that's a big problem, right? Trying to go from a 5-minute study session to 2 hours focus sessions overnight will fail. Your brain needs to gradually adapt. It's like going from lifting 5 kilograms to lifting 50. It's impossible, right? So a better way of doing this is to start with embarrassingly small focus sessions. Like I'm talking 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then build up slowly, okay? Consistency beats intensity. Number 3 is using focus apps as cope for real discipline. No app can fix your attention span for you. Apps are tools, not solutions, okay? So use apps to support your discipline, not to replace it. The real work happens in your mind, not your phone. So sometimes I will hear a student that will just download the app, they will just download Opal or something like that, and then they do nothing. Just like, oh, I should be focused now. Doesn't work like that. Mistake number 4 is ignoring sleep, okay, and your physical health. You cannot focus when you're tired, stressed, or unhealthy, okay? All the techniques in the world won't work if your biology is fighting against you. The thing you need to do is you need to prioritize sleep, you need to prioritize exercise, you need to prioritize your nutrition, okay? These are the foundation that everything is built upon. Mistake number 5 is multitasking, okay? I don't care how good you've done it in the past. Multitasking destroys your ability to focus deeply, okay? Your brain literally cannot do 2 thinking tasks at once. Search it up. You can't, okay? So you need to focus on single tasking only, one subject, one task, and just complete focus the whole time. Mistake number 6 is not dealing with emotional triggers, okay? So the problem is if you're anxious, stressed, or overwhelmed, your brain will seek distractions as an emotional escape. Okay, you're going to keep getting pulled away. Listen, if you have a personal issue going on right now, if you're actually struggling personally, you need to actually address this and fix it. You can't just David Goggins your way through it, okay? Because these emotional things are actually stopping you. You need to address it and fix it so that you can focus on the real thing. Mistake number 7 is giving up after bad days, okay? So this is another big thing that my students, struggle with themselves. You're going to have days where your focus is terrible, right? If you quit every time it happens, you're never going to build the skill. So for example, my students, right, they're very focused, very dedicated, very committed, right? And because of that, because they're trying to improve themselves, they're so harsh. They have a bad day, they just like lose the plot, right? So the way you actually fix this, the thing that you need to do is you need to expect bad days to happen and you just need to learn to get back up. That's it. And finally, the last mistake that students make is not tracking their progress. Okay. Now, without tracking, you can't see improvement and you're going to get discouraged. Okay. So keep a simple log of how long you stay focused each day. And by doing that, you're going to get motivated, right? So again, it doesn't need to be fancy. Just get a piece of paper and just, track how long you focus each day. Personally, I use an app called Forest and I tracked my study sessions every day and that kept me motivated. Okay. So there you have it. That is how you fix your fried attention span. Please take notes on this. Please take action on this because I'm telling you right now, your attention span will be the reason you don't achieve the ATAR that you want. So fix it right now. And if you're a student who's looking to make an academic comeback and achieve their dream ATAR, and you're not doing too well right now, check the first link in the description and I'd love to work with you. Speak soon.